Hello everyone, I am Dr. Chander Pawar, currently working as an assistant professor in the Department of Chemistry at VJEC College. So today I will be discussing about something, introduction about a role of chemistry and its importance to BTech students. And then later I will be discussing something specific topics about BTech program and what are modules are there in their curriculum. So before that, I did my MSc from MTech PhD from Hyderabad Central University, which is located in Gachibowli, and thereafter I traveled to China for my first postdoc, Zhejiang University, and then again for my second postdoc I traveled to Texas A&M University. After doing my second postdoc in the Texas, I traveled back to India and I joined as an assistant professor in the VJEC College, which is located in Bachupalli, Hyderabad. So before going into details about chemistry and its role for engineers, so basically why chemistry is required, really do that BTech candidates require this knowledge of basic knowledge of chemistry? Yes, certainly I can say yes. Chemistry is one of the major subject, and everyone should have minimum knowledge about it, and chemistry is certainly called as a central science. So basically a country's economy depends on the chemistry. Basically there are many fields which chemistry play a crucial role. For example, battery industry. Nowadays we see technology is exploring towards the EV vehicles. So battery industry, definitely there should be a minimum knowledge of chemistry, how oxidation is taking place, reduction is taking place, what is cathode, what is anode, and how this electricity production is taking place, what is electrolysis. All these processes, to understand these processes, chemistry is definitely required. Apart from that, food industry also, packaging material and preservatives, definitely chemistry is required. Paper industry also, there is a role of chemistry. Piles, for example, if someone got any disease, so basically we take the medicine, and this for the preparation, synthesis and manufacturing of these medicines also, there is a role of chemistry. So likewise, petrol industry, soap industry, plastic industry, garments industry, everywhere there is a requirement of the chemistry. And not only that, industrial processes like manufacturing chemical fertilizers, like to grow the crops, urea is one of the major fertilizer across the country which farmers are using widely. So for the production of urea and other ammonium sulfate kind of fertilizers, the chemistry background and chemistry minimum knowledge should be very much essential. Now yeah, I would like to emphasize that this is a periodic table, and I can tell that the universe exists from this periodic table, and this plays a crucial role for each and every sector. It could be packaging sector, it could be industrial, pharma industry, or it could be any industry, agriculture industry. So everywhere these elements are required to for example, for the pipelines for farming, so PVC is very essential, and that PVC comes from polyvinyl chloride, that is there in the periodic table. Apart from that, if someone is required lithium ion battery, nowadays we widely use the lithium ion mobile phones, smart mobile phones. So all smart mobile phones are embedded with lithium ion battery, and lithium ion battery, what is the discharging mechanism, what is the charging mechanism, all this comes from this. And copper wires for the passage of electricity. Likewise, all these elements plays their crucial role in the to understand the importance of chemistry. Now all this chemistry basically start with atom. So before going into the what is deeper chemistry, let us try to understand what is atom actually. So though I mentioned here atoms are basic units of matter, all matter is made up of tiny atoms. So I will give you one beautiful example and definition for this atom. So invisible, indivisible, indestructible, the ultimate particle is called as atom. And when we go deeper and deeper about this atom, So nucleus with positive charge, electrons and cells, all these concepts comes. And whatever the material we see today, this PC, laptop, this pen, everything is made up of atom, which is the tiny molecule or ultimate particle. So later on, so simply when we try to understand the atom in a broader perspective, so cell is the building block of human body. Similarly, amino acids are building blocks of proteins, and monomer is the building block of polymer. Similarly, here atom is the building block of matter. So smallest a particle which is involved, combination of smallest particles leads to atoms, and that atoms leads to molecules, and molecules leads to matter. So that is the beauty of atom. Now for BTech program, we have designed 4 modules for this program. So first one is water and its treatment, second one is polymer science, third one is energy sources and battery technology, corrosion and its control, and fifth one, that is the last unit, nothing but engineering materials. So in water and treatment, basically we will be discussing what is the pH of water, and what are the contaminants, and what are the impurities, and which salts causes the permanent hardness, which salts are responsible for temporary hardness, and boiler troubles, and reverse osmosis, and then finally the ion exchange process. That's nothing but external treatment method. And in polymers, basically nowadays everywhere we are using the polymers. So how to synthesize the polymers, what are the importance of polymers in day-to-day life, how these polymers are demanding, that will be discussed in the second unit. And in third unit, energy sources and battery, what are the types of energy sources like solid fuels, liquid fuels, gaseous fuels, and then battery technology. As I was telling while ago, this instead of lithium ion batteries, what could be the next, like sodium ion batteries, potassium ion batteries for more efficiency. So all this will be covered in the second module, third module. And fourth module, we will be discussing about corrosion, its control methods, how corrosion is occurring, and how it can be prevented. And fifth one, engineering materials like lubricant, cement, and their properties, and how they are helping for our day-to-day life technology upgradation. And these are the some of the references which I have mentioned, and these reference books are available in our library, college library as well. So basically today's topic, scale and sludge formation, which is part of first unit, that is nothing but water and its treatment. So here, first of all, before going into scale and sludge formation, first let us try to understand what is boiler. We are talking about scale and sludge formation in the boiler. So what is boiler? Boiler is nothing but it's a large sized vessel. It's specifically designed for the boiling of water. Why we need to boil the water? To generate the steam. Why we need to generate the steam? To produce the electricity. So this is the basic scenario which we are following this particular topic, boiler and its usage. So basically, when we feed the water into the boiler for boiling purpose to generate steam and then further electricity production, based on the impurities, based on the salts which are present in that feeded water, there will be troubles, and those troubles are nothing but priming and foaming. First one is priming and foaming, that is the first trouble. Second trouble is caustic embrittlement. Third trouble is boiler corrosion. And fourth trouble is nothing but scale and sludge formation. Okay. Now scale and sludge formation, how it is defined and how it is formed. Scale and sludge basically formed because of the dissolved salts present in the feeded water to the boiler. And as it is represented in the figure here, this is a boiler. Here it is a external appearance of boiler, and this is the internal appearance. appearance of boiler. So once the water is fed into this boiler, whatever the water we are using to feed into the boiler, that should have some specifications. Specifications in regards of its TDS. TDS is nothing but total dissolved solids. That should be optimized. And apart from that, the pH should be optimized. pH is also very important. And any other unwanted impurities like salts, permanent and temporary hardness salts, those should be minimized. If we don't care about this TDS level, pH and the salts while loading into this boiler, then that boiler will be facing these 4 troubles: priming and foaming, caustic embrittlement, and this boiler corrosion, followed by the scale and sludge formation. Okay, so basically, what is scale? Scale is nothing but, as it is mentioned here, a hard adhering crust coating on the inner walls of the boiler. Where that scale is forming? Inside the boiler. I will show you in the coming slides. And sludge is loose and slimy precipitate. Okay, let me explain in more detail. Here, hard adhering crust, that is nothing but scale. Now, let me explain with general. Here we can see a heater, which is newly bought one. And once it is dipped into the bucket, during the mostly we use this kind of heaters during winter season. When we dip and turn on the switch, first day there won't be much different color difference. After several weeks or several days of using this heater, the color of this coil will be changed into this kind of a whitish layer formation on the surface of this coil. This whitish layer on the surface of the heater coil, that is nothing but scale. This is the scale. And this whitish layer won't be removed easily. It is very difficult to remove this kind of scale. That is why what is mentioned, hard adhering crust or coating. So new one, that will be shiny, there won't be any problem. But after using several days, it will catch as this kind of whitish layer. And this whitish layer is nothing but scale. Now let us talk in terms of the boiler. So here, this is the inner representation of boiler. This bluish one represents water, H2O. And here this dark part, that's a layer which is related to hard, adhering crust. That is nothing but scale formation. And this is the orange one is the boiler wall. Here it is mentioned. So now what we are trying to understand here, the boiler has been fed with the water. Due to the impurities in the water, TDS level and more salts present in this water, and we are using it for the steam generation. What's happening due to the salts and due to that impure water, this dark layer formation is taking place. This dark layer is nothing but scale, and this scale won't be removed that much of easily. Okay. And to remove this scale, that means to clean the inner walls of the boiler, we need some special chemicals and some special treatment methods. Then only we can make it again functioning. Okay. Now let us go into another trouble, that is sludge. Sludge is nothing but soft, loose and slimy precipitate. Okay, let me explain in a simple manner. For example, while cooking, we add sweet oil, is that many things to the pan, and that greasy or oily pan, that there will be a coating. That coating can be easily removed with the vim or scrubber. We can easily wipe out with simple techniques, like whatever the utensils we have used in the kitchen, we can easily clean with the scrubber. That means whatever the oily or greasy coating is there on the pan or our kitchenware, that can be easily removed. This sludge is also kind of that. So sludge is soft, loose and slimy precipitate which can be easily removed with some simple chemical treatment methods. Whereas this scale cannot be removed with simple chemical treatment methods, and it needs some specific chemical treatment methods. Those specific chemical treatment methods are broadly categorized into internal treatment methods and external treatment methods. Internal treatment methods basically again categorized into 3 types: phosphate conditioning, calgon conditioning, colloidal conditioning. These are the internal treatment methods. Then what are the external treatment methods? There are 2 external treatment methods: ion exchange process and reverse osmosis. So by following these methods, internal and external treatment methods, we can avoid these boiler troubles like scale and sludge. In next class, we will discuss in detail about these boiler troubles, how to overcome. Yeah, thank you very much. See you in the next class.
Like, share, comment, and subscribe VNR Digital Learning Resource YouTube channel.